Well, folks, it's been a while, about a month since I last recorded with Valentine. I think it was November 7th or something like that. And
Yep.
this is the video for December the 9th, and the title is Uplifting with Your Suffering. Valentine, please tell us what you mean by that.
Wonderful. And aloha to everyone around the planet. And we just sent our blessings during the holidays to everyone. And through this, the qualities on how love can be expressed. And I just do this as a reminder, the golden roses, just a reminder. I'm not going to leave it on, to let people know that we have to share the kindness through the diamonds of love. And I'll share with 9 points, 9 principles that I believe that can help us uplift our suffering. Now, number 1 is sincere kindness. And we'll take that one at a time, and I want Ron to,
I'm actually typing.
Okay, great. So the number 1 will be sincere kindness. Number 2 is generosity of the self. And when you get that, as well as possessions. Generosity of the self,
I just put generosity.
Okay, there you go. And then sincere gratitude, even during difficult, challenging times, which the holidays especially, or any moment that we may have difficulty, right? Then number 4 is humility. Then number 5 is compassion. So I show the rose again with the compassion. Have compassion to help your brothers and sisters around the planet, in everyday life. Number 6 is tolerance. Number 7, which is a really, real important one to meditate on, is mercy. Number 8 is patience. Right?
I chuckle because if anybody's patience has been tried, it's been humanity's patience.
Right, exactly. And then number 9, along with the patience, is faith. Faith, with the golden rose. So these are the qualities how love can be expressed. Now we could take each one and break it down, and that's the recipe for life. That's what the recipe is sincere kindness. Now, what's your thought on that? Do you want me to share what my thoughts
you just go ahead and start talking about, expand on each of the 9 things,
okay,
and how it uplifts our suffering.
Okay, great. So sincere kindness with our inner thoughts, as well as our words and actions, exclamation point. Our words and our actions. So sincere kindness, I'm going to repeat it, with our inner thoughts, as well as our words. Like if you have a handshake and your word is your word with your handshake, which, that's your word, or what you speak, and actions, what actions you take and follow through, right? Walk your talk, right? not talk your talk. So number 2, now do you want to say anything on that?
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. Number 2 is sincere gratitude, even during the difficult and challenging times, knowing our life is unfolding perfectly, every moment from our highest and greets growth. So
our highest and what?
Our highest and greets growth, meaning our experiences, we evolve, growth. We grow.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's the word before growth that I'm not understanding.
Greets, like you greet someone, like you greet yourself.
Greet.
Yeah, Greets. Greets.
Yeah, okay. That doesn't go with, okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Well, Jason helped me with this. This was an elder that works with the Sufi camps around the world that come to Hawaii. And we discussed it. And he said, greets. So, okay, we'll do it like when someone says greetings, right? So we're greeting with growth.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And number 3, we'll go into that. What we did. Number 3 is the generosity of ourselves as well as our possessions. That's you understand, being generous with ourselves, but how about our possessions as well as our possessions? Because
certainly the elite establishment is neither generous. They mean, when you consider that a very small handful of people own well over 50, and some say over 90% of the world's wealth.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that picture?
Exactly. Remember we discussed with Walk by Faith, Hawaiian style? You said everybody could be, each one of us could be a millionaire if it was shared, meaning we would have all the zeros like these ones that run the planet, that, right?
Money would be meaningless if everybody was that wealthy.
Exactly. Right. And so like we spoke of, the all that, it's like if we have our own machine. When I talked about dead presidents, all our presidents are dead. When I was in Europe, all the presidents were alive in Denmark and Sweden. The kings and queens, they have alive now. But in the United States, we have dead presidents. So we're fighting after dead presidents. When I was in Woodstock in '94 with Love 22. Love 22, there he is, Love 22, because the New World Order is love. And he puts it on with Uncle Sam hat with a $22 bill. And the Supreme Court says, we're not going to take care of this nonsense. People are spending $22 bills. They were given to Hawaii, California, New York, around the world from Woodstock. I'm not kidding you. Love 22. People with cash, that's how much we're alert. What we see in the moment, they see a $20 bill, 22, and they give change for $22. That's how asleep we are at the registers. You know what I'm saying? And went up to the Supreme Court because he said, listen, I had enough with this. He said, I'm throwing this out of court. I'm not going to deal with this. If people want to pay and give the $22 bill and they don't see it, it's not a $20 bill, and to give, that's their problem, not mine. I'm throwing it out of court. The Supreme Court it went up to. And he was known as Love 22. And I was with him in Woodstock at the 25th anniversary. And what he said to me in '69, he wept like a child. I'm not kidding you. I was with 7 other healers that were around me from around the planet, around South America, United States, Russia. They're from all over. And he said, '69 was never the same. He said, when that concert, he said, I was so complete. But when in the 25th anniversary, we did the healing for him, and he broke, and he got it. You know what I mean? See, he made these bills and everything like pyramids, right? For the kids and for the families. And everybody took all these bills with his face on Uncle Sam, thinking that it's money. It's $22 bill that they're getting to cash in and buy things with.
Wow. That's the first I've heard that story. But anyway, continue with your 9 point.
Okay. So that came in. So the next one, humility.
But didn't difficult times come next?
No. The humility.
Okay, well, I've got them out of order, but go ahead.
No, that's okay. So humility, knowing that we are, and what we have is from the grace of God. What we have, humility. Having humility, knowing that we have a creator. We wonder sometimes, where is he? Because I even questioned it. He gets mad at me, comes through the door. I'm not kidding you. I go, hey, where are you? And he comes through the door unseen and shows his hands and feet and physical. And here I am. Well, how about the rest of us that are awake, that know that you're alive and well? Why don't you go and appear to them, not just me? You know what I mean? Why are you coming to me only? Come to Rod.
Yeah, well, I've had some really powerful mystical experiences in my life that I actually felt. I mean, on one occasion, I think I probably mentioned this before. It
Yes.
was in the middle of the night, but the room was like somebody turned on the lights.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the whole thing like sons and sons of light during the dark, right?
right.
Yeah, like daylight, nighttime became daylight. So there's a presence around us, but why are we so much? It takes so much time down. It's so slow. You know what I mean? They say it's slow. It's so slow down here. The vibration, when we came from a very high vibration, heavenly. Ask the children when they come in. You've seen your grandchildren and all. I've been with children the last couple of days with grandfathers, and and the children are like, wow, come on, let's play. Marco Polo, my friend Jack's having a great time from Syria. He's a fireman, and he goes Marco Polo, and the girl, the family couldn't believe it. She went on for hours, and he did too. It was like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, and he just had the greatest time. Marco Polo, and he shut his eyes, and she just was like this little 4 years old, Abby, and just went crazy. That's the energy that these kids come in with. They're full of life. They bring that light in, and we know of that light, right?
Yeah.
That energy, high energy.
Yeah. And then the older we get, the more the light goes out.
I know.
Like for a lot of us.
I know. That's why I want to approach this topic. Okay, so the other one, now you put those in order, but I got other ones that came in. That's probably why that happened, Ron. This one came in, and you don't have this written down. Impeccability, integrity with our words and actions. But it's very similar. Impeccability, integrity with our words and action. That came in real strong.
Yeah, well, that certainly, we're never going to see changes in the world as long as politicians have no impeccable integrity.
Yes. Yeah. And we don't have role models unless we have the kids that come in to play with. You know what I mean? Pure souls that really want, like you want to be with your grandchildren. You want to be with your children. You want something more uplifting. You know what I mean? Something that is meaningful to you and honest. Like you said, a handshake or your word, and you follow through. And people said to me here in Hawaii, I'm so glad to meet with you. She's from Franklin Lakes. I'm with Jack and all. She's, they're very straight with you. People from the East Coast, when they say their word, they follow through and say, in Hawaii with me, they listen and they take action and step in. They don't go and give you an airy-fairy question and go, well, I forgot about it. You know what I mean? They tell it like it is. You know what I mean? And not just the East Coast. Could be West Coast. It could be around the planet. It's the individual that you meet that's evolved that follows through on their word and their actions. And there's not many on the planet that are walking their talk, brother. I mean, I believe that they are, but I think they fool themselves that they're not walking their talk. I'll tell you what. I've dedicated my life, and I know you have also, Ron, and that's why I do this with you. We've dedicated our lives to helping humanity, but people will do it in the moment. It feels great. But when they find out what it's like to walk this walk, oh, wait a minute. I got to give up this, smoking, drinking. I got to stay pure. And the one brother said, you're amazing. It's amazing that you stay pure. Even a yogi said to me, on a chemical planet, how did this guy stay the way he did? To Reverend Margaret Rainey, this yogi, Alan Vaj, said he thought this was candid camera. This has got to be a joke. How did he stay naturally high when you had Woodstock and all the alcohol and the drugs and the drug planet? And he said, I'm really sorry. I went inside and I asked and said, this is what you came in to do, Valentine. This is your mission. This is what you came to share with the planet, to stay in their purity. And that's where children come in. The advanced souls, I call them the crystal children and the violet children, show the family from the father, the mothers, especially the mothers, because they carry the light with these children, right? The mothers and the fathers feel this, like, where does this child learn this from? They're very advanced child. They said yesterday, goes, oh yeah, she's like she's really like, I can't believe it at 4 years old, what she's doing. You know, it's like a little adult. That's why Jack was playing with, there's like a little adult, but playful. He just wanted to be playful. He just got off the plane out of San Francisco, lives in Hawaii. Fireman that took care of, as a chef, 1,600 men that he took care of. He's a fire chief.
Wow. Yeah,
Right.
get back to your nine points.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to run over.
Yeah. Now the other thing is, as the 9 points, I want to bring this up along with it. This is important to write down or to listen to before I go back to the 9 points. Use your voice for kindness, your ears for compassion, your hands for charity, your mind for truth, and your heart for love, which I call the diamonds of love that we each have to share with each soul wherever we go, right? That's very important to bring in along with the 9 principles, because, you know, that opens up the door for more conversation. Do you like that? Yep,
that's good.
Yeah, it's true. We have to use our voice for kindness. I'll give you an example. Ellen, and you know, she goes, I am so rich. She gives 12 days of Christmas to all the people in the audience, thousands and thousands of dollars for all their promotions for the holidays, and people go crazy going to the show to get those tickets because she says be kind to everyone. Because she brought up, she said, I just came as a comedian to bring, being gay, they were going to take her career down when they found out she was gay as a woman and married this woman that was very beautiful, right? But she just speaks about kindness and acts with kindness. At the end of her show, she said to be kind to everyone. And she's filthy rich because of being kind. Can you say it? She'll say it. I'm so rich. Well, yeah, we'll pass the riches on, which she does with the promotion, but are you passing the zeros and the riches on outside of that? You know what I'm saying? You know, because they can't believe what they're being blessed with when her whole career was going to go down by saying that she was gay. They were going to try to, and it did the opposite and brought her into the limelight, and she's been on the show for 15 years or so. You know what I mean?
Well, as I've said, I have quite a few gay friends,
yes,
male and females.
Yeah,
and I don't. I do judge pedophilia. I don't judge adults making decisions of who they want to pair off with.
Right. Now, this is interesting. When you said that last night, I come in and everything. They're doing this awards, and Kevin Hart, the comedian, was supposed to host the Oscars, if I'm correct. Oscars or one of the event, you know, as a host.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, well, because he spoke up and said they looked at his tapes that if his son was gay, he said he would stop it and make sure that he's not gay. And now they took him out of being a host, and they have to replace him because they said on the world stage we don't want to have a controversy with the gays or the lesbian or anything of that nature. And he said, well, if you feel that way, I'm stepping away. Well, they told him that we're not going to have you go on as a host, and now it's blocked other opportunities for him. Now they said that also happened with Eddie Murphy. When I was at Eddie Murphy, New York, he come out on stage. They think that when they're on that world stage, he comes out in front of the public, and he thought that by saying a curse word, F-U-C-K, he come out and said that. They banned him from any type of hosting because it's not funny any longer when you blatantly come out with something and it's your words and your actions don't meet or flow. You know what I'm saying? With the people. The people aren't going to stand for that. So they brought that out, but I was really surprised. So getting back to what we're talking about.
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's get back to it. So the other thing that came in, along with the principles, the resistance of the unpleasant situation is the root of suffering. The resistance of the unpleasant situation is the root of suffering. Ram Dass, and I was with him. We took pictures together at Whole Foods. They never sent me the picture, by the way, because I told them I was with Dr. Oz, and our pictures went around the country, in 105 countries together on the planet. and I guess they got busy, whatever. I made the connection with him, with Wayne Dyer at the Culture Center. He always looks at me. He just in the presence. Valentine, nice to see you. Just I'm at his home. Valentine. He goes, when I went to do some healing with him, because he's in a wheelchair, Ram Dass, right? I want to give credit, because what he's saying is at the root, right? The resistance to the unpleasant situation is the root of suffering. We really got to breathe and take that in, right? So when I was with him, he was suffering. And I called him out on it. I go, well, when you put when the healers and the acupuncturists put the acupunctures, the points on your head and that make the connection, you could get up out of the wheelchair and you could walk around. He said, just as soon as you go back to that chair, you want to go back, and they take them off, you can't stand up. He goes, yeah, Valentine, you're right. He goes, it's just a thought. It's my thought. I don't think it's a thought. And he can't get out on his own without the points. He said, I could do a dog and pony show. He was very straight with me. But then he looked at me in the presence. He said, by the way, Valentine, how are you doing in your life? I wanted to be of service and to help. And then the whole audience said, we love Ram Dass. What are you doing to him, Valentine? I'm just trying to be of service and help, because he's helping so many of you around the world. This man has healers and people around the clock. He needs to know the truth about that thought and to help him get out of that chair so he could help more souls. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. People that are suffering, when I talked about suffering in silence, people are suffering in silence. That's why I came up with the 9 principles. Really suffer when I saw all the presidential thing with all the families with this grieving around the nation. What happened with the Bush family, right? We won't
you don't want me to get into that.
No, we won't get into it. But it was the symbol of grieving, and it really took me inward and said, suffering in silence. We're suffering so much in silence that we have to uplift it in order to make the change. These principles will help. You know what I'm saying, Ron? The principles that I'm sharing. And the other thing, let me see what else did I really point. I think I got most of the points there.
Well, I don't know if you've covered the humility and compassion, tolerance, mercy.
No, we can go into that. I wanted to leave some of that for some conversation with you. You know what I mean? What your thoughts are on this, Ron, regards to, what you think about humility. That's why I left some of them open, because I want to know your feeling on humility. What is humility for you?
Humility is being willing to tell the truth first and foremost.
There you go.
Regardless of, I remember when they asked me, were you in the room when Dr. Mary signed the will? And the truth was, no, I wasn't. But as soon as she signed it, she wanted me in there. So I went in the room. But they because I was right outside the door, that was considered undue influence.
Yeah.
It's being honest. And that's being humble enough to tell the truth, even when people are going to judge you for it.
Yes. And what it is that we feel like we're being targeted because we're telling the truth. That's another topic in another one, that we get targeted for being the truth serum, for telling the truth. Talk about suffered in silence. We tell the truth, and then we're going, hey, we meditated on it. We're in, we feel that our God self, that we're supposed to tell the truth. And then, what are you supposed to not tell the truth? You know what I'm saying? The truth serum.
Yeah, well,
we suffer.
Politicians is a whole profession of liars.
Yes.
Now, they're with exceptions always.
Yeah. There are people that, that are doing the right thing. And those people with those hearts and all know who they are. And God knows who they are. The Lord knows. And I'll tell you, everything that we do, it's like a life review. People are going to be shocked when they're on their deathbeds, or even before that. You're going to get a life review, because my father looked at me in the hospital Okay, great. My father looked at me in the hospital. You know what he said to me? He goes, well, my brother's looking out the window, right? My brother Ken's looking out the window. And I looked straight at him and he goes, you better get, he goes, they just move you along. You better get all your talking down here because they're just going to move you along. There's no more talking up there. People don't understand that. You better get your story straight, meaning walk your walk here, because it's going to be a review. Don't even say the words that you said. It's all accountability, responsibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he looked at me and he said, I thought you were making it up the whole time, because he was asleep. I never thought he would wake up, Ron, till he died and came back. My own father, Frank, unbelievable. So the other thing is, anything else to say on that, on humility?
No, you continue because I want to be done on time.
Okay, good. So then the other one, I think I went into compassion. Did we go into compassion? Did we, being available for people, from the suffering and going, oh, I suffered that. Now I can help you turn that around. I already went through that suffering. So, you inspire, redirect souls to come out of it. But you got to do your work in order to do it.
Yes.
Either through a support system, massage, touch, phone call, someone that can really reach you. And if there's someone that's in your life that's come in, like your guardian angel on a physical form, you should listen who comes in to your life there to help you. You've been praying and asking for an answer. Open your ears, to listen. And I'll give you an example on that with listen with the ears. Maria said the night before I talked to her and I said, you don't have ears to listen. So she gets a voice coming in the next day and says, you're going 45 miles per hour. She almost jumped out of the car. This male voice came in like the voice of God in the car. The clothes, she's got the music on. Then all of a sudden the veils get thinner and a voice came in and said, you're going over 45, because she got very sick from drinking wine, from not eating the night before, from Friday. And then she got a second voice that came in when I spoke about the night before about listening, you have no ears to listen. And then the voice came in and said, oh, how are you doing today? And she didn't know what, so it opened up those listening from heaven. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And then the other one is, let's go into, tolerance we went into, didn't we? A little bit?
A little bit.
Mercy. How would you respond to mercy? Because we know patience and faith. So mercy. How would you describe mercy on what you're going through, I'm going through? What would your thoughts on mercy?
Oh, Lord. That's a tough subject for me to just expound on in a short time.
Yes, but that's something we can do we can expound on later also.
Right.
That's a real tough one.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Mercy is a willingness to forgive others but I always put an if there. They have to repent.
Yeah.
You can't blanket forgiveness is bullshit to me.
Exactly. Yeah. No, because what it does is it doesn't help you make the change. It keeps you that suffered in silence, stuck. We stay stuck if we suffer in silence. And no matter what it takes, I don't care if somebody gets something from this, from Ron and I today, and they go, wow, that really spoke to me. We want to hear from you. Valentine, Maui at Gmail, Ron, Paradox Man, you know what I mean? We want to hear from you and let us know and touch other people's lives with it. Bring forth joy around the world and happiness with the golden light. The golden rose, the purity. May we stay in our purity and help one another on the planet, Ron.
Yes, I wish we would all get that.
Yes. Yeah. Would be a real blessing to help bridge that golden light, that purity. And I think that's what we're missing. I think that's what we're missing, Ron. So thank you so much, and I really appreciate bringing this out today. The upliftment, as you want to say it, of helping humanity come out of their suffering. I know it's a very important subject to approach today.
Okay, well, thank you, Valentine.
Yes.
Bye-bye for now.
Okay, and aloha and rainbows ahead to everyone.